Welcome to Community with Kevin and Manny. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Community. My name is Kevin, and then I have my co-host Manny here with me. How's it going, Manny? How are you doing today?
I'm doing better. I'm doing better. Surviving day 7. Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Everything is good. Obviously, always thinking about you and your family, hoping that you're doing better. But so far, you say day 7. How's it been going for you?
The first couple of days were tough. I think I'm getting a little bit more back into my feet, staying hydrated. Doing all the remedies that all the old people say: drink tea, do this, do that, put Vicks. Everything. Just trying to get back into my feet, getting back regular. But so far today was a pretty good day.
I'm happy to hear that, man. Happy to hear that you're doing better. But we made it to episode number 3, so really excited about today. Today we have a pretty good show. We're gonna have 3 guests that will be coming on pretty shortly. We're gonna focus a lot on Liga Galaxia today, so pretty much the Pro Clubs League on Xbox. And it's nice to always put a face to the names because I see a lot of people on social media, and now I'm able to put that face, right? So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and bring our guest on. So we have 3 guests from Liga Galaxia. We have Rudy, also known as I Am Smarts. We also have Class Trends, Peyton, and then Vic 121. Um, Peyton, how's it going, man? Welcome. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Man, we're doing good. Happy to have you here. Vic, what about you, man? How's it going?
I'm going pretty good. Doing good.
Good to hear. And Rudy, what about you? How's it going?
What up? What up? What up, man? Thanks for having me.
You know what? It's I'm happy to have you guys, especially because you guys are known within the Galaxy community and also within the Liga Galaxia. Let's go ahead and start with Vic. Can you let me know, like, how was it that you became a Galaxy fan, and how long have you been a Galaxy fan? And then the third question, are you part of any supporter group?
Galaxy fan. That's a tough one because I remember like my first real like watching the Galaxy experience was like 2012 to like 2014. I remember watching MLS Cup 2014 at my grandma's crib, and ever since then I just kind of like started getting a following for the team. But my first game was 2016, 2017, and then ever since that I just fell in love. And I'm part of a supporter group at ACB with along with Rudy. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's really cool, man. And then Peyton, what about you? How long have you been a Galaxy fan, and how did you become a Galaxy fan?
Actually, became a Galaxy fan more recently. That was 2018, and I went to my first game against San Jose, and I loved the atmosphere. I loved the entire vibe. It was awesome. So I became a season ticket holder in 2019. My dad took me to the games, and yeah, ever since then, it's been awesome. I mean, I wish the team was better, but it's fine.
We all do.
I think we all do. Yep.
Yeah, and then we're gonna touch on some news later today that might mean that we're headed towards the right direction. But Rudy, how long have you been a Galaxy fan? How did you become a Galaxy fan? And are you involved with a supporter group?
Sheesh. I've been a fan legit since '96, right? That was like the family thing to go out to Rose Bowl, check them out. My family's from Guatemala, so like the Galaxy has always had players from Guatemala. Would that be
Ha!
from Pescadito to all the players from '96 and on. So I've been a fan since '96, legit, and part of ACB for the last 12 years or so, 13 years or so, something like that.
Shout out to ACB.
Yeah, big shout out to ACB.
And you know what, Vic, I have a question for you. I don't know if you mind saying your age, because to me you seem really young, and I
Yeah.
admire the fact that I seen you involved with ACB. I seen you around the stadium a few times, and I think that's cool for young people to be involved with supporter groups and the team. So can
Mhm.
you touch about
Y-
how was it that you got involved with the supporter groups and what you
Okay,
do?
yeah. hmm so I'm 16, so I'm still pretty young. I got involved. I had a homie that I just met through Instagram, and he just was always bugging me. He's all like, "Hey, come to ACB, come to ACB. It's way better than the reserve section." And I was kind of like put it off to the side because I was just like, "Oh, I like watching the game a little bit more." And eventually, I gave in. My first game was Real Salt Lake, and just fell in love since then. I just think it's just cool bringing more. I know I have like some friends my age, bringing more people in. I just try and bring someone in every time we go a new game. Just try convert more fans, just grow the supporter group in general. And yeah, I just want to kind of because my homie, his name's Mingo. He always told me, I want you to be more involved in this because you're gonna be the future of the supporter group. So it's better to start young, and that way you can learn from everybody, learn what to do, learn what to avoid. That way you can just eventually, once you're in that high position, and once you run the supporter group, eventually once you're a little older, I want you to be prepared for that. So that just
What's
kind of gave me
up?
more like
That
ánimo
part.
to learn more, to I talk to more people, and just kind of advance my knowledge of the group, my love for the team as well. And
And
yeah, that's pretty much it.
you know,
That guy.
that
Like
was up because that was up because I think a lot of people need to know that this club is generational.
yeah.
It goes from from my dad to me to my kids and hopefully to his kids. It stays in the bloodline, and when you learn something original and you can carry that on to the next generation, that what keeps it organic. That was keeps the club what it is, and I think that's what's awesome. I think I met you on the drum line. You guys were teaching us how to
Yeah.
hit the drum. So I admire that you guys are out there as young as you are, still hitting the drums. I see you in the flags. Hey, you put in work, bro. You put in work, and I respect that.
Yeah, man. At 16 years old, I don't think I could commit to anything the way this fool does to the stands. You know what I mean? So 100% with what man just said.
You know what? I think that's really cool because I remember when I was 16, I would go out to games and same thing, take my friends. But I feel you're more involved than what I was, so I really admire that. I think it's really cool because, like you said, you guys are the future.
Yep.
What about class trends? Have you had any opportunity to come out to be part with supporter groups, or is that something you're looking forward once we're able to be in the stadiums?
I sit in, I believe, section 110. I like it there, but it would be interesting one day to maybe try out a supporters group, Lars or ACB, and see how it is. That always interests me. So we'll see. Maybe in
Listen,
the future.
next time we're ever gonna be in the stadium, you let me know and you come over whenever you want. Come on, B
All right,
block
for
is
sure,
hang out with
for
everybody.
sure.
Yeah, we're all in V Block, so you're more than welcome.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people from Lars too. You're more than welcome to go hang out with
yeah,
them. So the gates
100%.
open right there. The gates open.
And then Vic, I think I saw you in, if I'm not mistaken, in San Jose last year. Or were you out there the
Yeah.
year we lost 3-0?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So can you touch
Um,
about a little bit about like away travel, of the away travel that you've been able to do? I know you're 16, but I know you've been in to
yeah.
San Jose.
I think of them like 3 or 4 away games. But San Jose was just like always a trip. I always heard everybody say, you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it. And I was been meaning to go since I first was a season ticket member. And finally last year I was all like, you know what? I'm gonna just take a road trip, just me and my pops go up there. And then it was just me and my pops, like I said. And then I met up with the at the tailgate before the pregame one. And then everybody was just telling me about like everything that we just do, like the march to the stadium and stuff. So that was my first away game, and the first like real away game, if you really consider it, like going on a plane, going to like a whole different like state or whatever, was Houston last year when it was the last game of the season. It was super hot.
Yeah.
They ran out of water, and it was just a horrible nightmare.
I was there too. That shit was tight.
It was tight, but it was hell really. But
It's a wait days though. You know what I
it's
mean?
a way
You'll
there
talk
though.
about this for the next 20 years. Promise.
For the next 20 years exactly. But I wasn't really supposed to even go to that one. Just a group of my homies were all like, "If you come, we'll spot you your flight." And then I just gave in, and we just went, and it was hell, but I loved it, and I'm just waiting to do it again. So once this whole COVID thing's over, but just the way travel in general, it just kind of made me like become more self-aware of myself, and allowed me to have different conversations with different people, and that's where I met a lot of different people in different cities, and I just became tied with First to Five as well. I met him over there and his whole crew.
Shout out to
And
Alex.
yep, and that's the way it is, man. You just meet new people and you just love it.
Yeah, I didn't know Manny until that game. That's where when I met Manny, that night in San Jose when we lost 3-0. So same thing. I agree. So I went alone. I didn't go with anyone. So after the game, I met Manny and his family. And ever since we've been hanging out and became good friends. Rudy, can you touch a little bit about your away days experience?
Shit.
If you had
Yeah.
a favorite city to go to away. Favorite city you have to go to away.
Portland, man. I like Portland.
Yeah.
I like Portland. Portland is a blast every single time, man. It's just super chill. It's never, depends what you're looking for, but it's a super chill city. Great beer. There's always, you get in and out, no problem. So I like Portland. Out of all the cities I've been to, all the way games, Portland is definitely my number one to go.
I agree. I went to Portland. I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was the year that we tied against them. So it was a good experience. Now let's go ahead and touch a little bit on Liga Galaxia. Peyton, I think you'll be the one that could answer this question. How was it that Liga Galaxia got started?
Initially, when Liga Galaxia just started, it was me, Timmy, and Adrian. It actually wasn't a league to start. It was just one team, Cosmo SC. And, when I saw the idea of the PS4 League, I thought there was potential in an Xbox League. I asked around if I could, start one, and I got to go ahead. Obviously I did some advertising on Twitter and Reddit, as probably you guys saw. We got interest, and the first people who responded was Timmy and Adrian. We didn't so like I said, we didn't play as a league. It was just us three to start, and then gradually it gained more and more growth. And this was during the initial lockdown, so people weren't really doing anything, so might as well just play some Xbox. It's really about Galaxy fans uniting and playing soccer, the sport that you love.
Now, when you first started the idea of doing the Xbox League, what was your idea behind it? I mean, like, hey, I could try to get 8 teams, 4 teams, or just one team, or you're looking to see, hey, whoever wants to join. Did you have like specific rules that you want to try to base your team base off of?
So the 3 Cosmo SC teams, because that's what it eventually expanded to, that got a lot to manage. So we decided to split into a league. I didn't know how much teams we were going to have. The thought was 4, but that came to 6. And then during the season 1, that eventually went to 8. So that's how we got the 4 teams make the playoffs, because 4 out of the 8 make the playoffs. During season 1, the expansion teams were Effort FC and Fatanza, which is no longer a team, sadly.
Gotta fold.
Yeah.
Financial issues, man. It's hard to keep a team.
Yeah.
They didn't build a stadium. They didn't do the contract. So
exactly, they had to go.
Gotta sell the team.
And then Vic, how was it that you got involved with Liga Galaxia?
I don't even remember, to be fair. I think it was, I asked Nelson, I was all like, you ever play with Cosmo SC on Xbox? And he's all like, yeah. I was all like, hey, you think you could introduce me to some of the teams there? And he's all like, yeah. And somewhere along the lines, I just remembered meeting more and more people, and eventually I just kind of grew away from his team. And I was all like, you know what? I kind of want to do that. I want to interact with more people. And so eventually that's what it came to be. And I just kind of, one of the core members of Star-Lord, we just kind of was me and 4 other dudes, and we just kind of started the whole team and made,
How did the name Star Lords come
Seriously.
across? That's a pretty cool
I have
name.
no clue. I just someone picked it and we just rolled with it.
Yeah, let's go.
I guess it was just I woke up in the morning like fucking Star Lords. All right.
Yep.
That's cool, man. And then Rudy, how did you get involved playing on the Xbox League?
Yeah, similar to Vic, right? The common person here is Nelson. So me and
Nelson.
uh, but yeah, right. Like so the boys always played. We always played a pro club, right? Massa, George from Straight from the Stance, and a bunch of other homies. Jesse. We always played pro clubs, but they're sketchy. Like they don't always show up, right? So when Nelson was always playing pro clubs, so I hit him up like, yo, look, who you play pro clubs with? Kind of put me on game with a Cosmo, and I already knew Cosmo C from the PlayStation side because I've always been around like Eddie and Bortex. Manny in Bortex when the PlayStation side, so I already knew about Cosmo C. So that popped up on the Xbox side. Nelson kind of put them together, and I started playing pro clubs with them, right? As Peyton mentioning, we had like 3 teams. Half the time I didn't know what team I was in. I was just kind of like, hey, if I'm playing, like, please ping me because I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Okay, listen, straight up, like big shout out to Peyton, man, because like it's a bunch of like animals in this league, right? Like everybody you see the chat room, it's a bunch of animals in the league, and somehow somebody Peyton's figured out how to make it work, right? Again, we had one successful season, so you figured it out. Big credit to him.
I think a large part of that was getting more people to help. Like I know Vic does the standings, and you create the matchups. That really helps, and you also manage enforce the rules, I would say. So that definitely helps. Yeah.
And you know what?
So,
oh, go ahead, Manny.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to see how many teams do you have right now, and then what's the plan for the future? Like, how many teams are you looking to eventually get?
Currently, we have 7 teams: Cosmos C, Star Lords, Effort, Squadron, Galaxians, Straight from the Stands, and Chonchos FC. In the future, I think next season it will easily get 8, but that could expand up to 10. That's the goal, 10. But we'll see. I'm not forcing it to get there. If we could get to 10, that'd be nice. But if we're at 8, that's fine. So that's really the plan for the future. We'll see as it develops, kind of. We'll see.
I was gonna say like big kudos to you because even though you're getting all these, like you said, Rudy said, all these all these players coming in and out, even to get help, that's kudos because it takes a whole team, it takes a whole group to run a league, and it seems like you got your group together nicely picked, and I think you guys are being successful because you're leading the way and they're being a part of the group with you, and that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Just to add to that too, I think beneficial for us is that this year or this season I actually played with Boracheks in Liga G, and there's a lot that you guys do because you guys are more efficient than what Liga Galaxia is. To be straight up, you guys are efficient where we're not. But which is interesting is that now I could take that and kind of have a conversation with Peyton in the offseason, trying to implement some of that stuff because you guys are efficient, right? And we have a bunch of dope players, and I think the squads are pretty even. No, let me take that back. There's 3 teams that are amazing, and then everybody else's ass. So that makes it even. But it's fun. It's fun as shit. Listen, there's like the yapping back and forth, right? Like, off air, I was mentioning that my players
the talk smacking is good. The talk smacking is good.
Right. Yeah. And it's fun. Nothing major has happened in however many months this league has been around. And we have a shit ton of players like constantly interacting, right? So again, big shout out to Peyton because somehow, some way, he's made this happen while everybody's crazy.
There's definitely things that can be improved, and if you got suggestions, I'd love to hear it because I want the best for the league. So that anything helps.
I think overall on us on our side, we're very open. So anytime you guys want suggestions or that, you guys feel free. The only thing that within I would say in our leadership and our board, we're constantly talking with each other. and we're always knocking off ideas. There's no such thing as a bad idea. So always keep open, and that's it. And then you'll find the right move for your squad, for your group, and that's it.
Yeah,
Peyton,
because
go ahead, Rudy.
I just say there's something special there, right? Anytime you get like that many people that like the same thing to do the same thing and kind of not kill each other, whether it be online or in person,
And
it's a
commit.
great feat. Yeah, it's a great feat, man. Listen, and I can't talk about any other team except for Street and Stance Pro Club, but like every fucking match day is like an hour before the match, I'm stressing out because we had like 6 people who said they might play. You know what I mean? Like they might play. What you mean you might? Like I need 7 people to play. Like I got 6 that might play.
So it's like your Sunday league. You're waiting to see like if it's gonna show up or not.
Exactly.
Man, hurry up.
And we're trying to implement. We got like a Discord. We got a Discord server just for like the club and alert systems and shit like that. Like I'm still stressed out every single day, like every single match day until like 15 minutes prior to the match when
Okay, now that
everybody
you say
logs
that, I
on.
have a question. Now that you say that, like you're waiting for players. Is there rules based on the way the team is structured? I know in our league you need 7 players to play. Is there rules based on Liga Galaxia how the team is supposed to perform, or what are the rules that because we don't know those?
Yeah. The minimum amount of players the team can have is 10, but the maximum is 16. But when you're actually on the field, the minimum amount is 7. Like your league, it's 7. Goalkeepers aren't required, but are allowed. But yeah, it's
We don't
really,
play any.
Yeah, no any. That I think that's interesting. I think we had a poll a while back, and
Yeah.
people just decided against it. Maybe we'll revisit that, but
No.
we'll see. Yeah, I don't
Stop the
personally
count.
like
No,
any at
no.
all.
Stop
I
the
don't like
count.
it at all. But if other people, whatever, I mean, whatever's best in the league.
You know what? I was actually wondering about the any and now you explained the reason behind it. But Rudy, since you played on both leagues, how do you see it playing with the any, and how is it playing without the any?
Yeah. So I see both sides, right? First of all, anybody who plays any, big shout out to you. I practice. I try to play any. Way too much thinking. Like I just want to be in charge of my player and do my thing. I don't want to do too much. So anybody who plays any, big shout out to you guys because that's a lot of thinking, a lot to do, way too stressful.
Especially playing forward in defense.
Yeah, like never. I'm stop. With that being said, though, like it's interesting. I really do like playing without any because it forces you to have a squad, right? Like right now we have a big problem because we don't have a left back. Right, so shout out if you're in the Xbox and you want to play with Street for Stance, hit me up at iSmarts everywhere. Sorry, just trying to throw that in there. But we don't have a left back, so like we have to commit to like between the CDM, the left CDM, and the left mid to cover some of that space to alleviate that from our backline. Right. Unfortunately, we don't do a very good job, and we just got 5 goals scored in the first game last series. But like it forces you into like committing to that, right? And I really, really like that aspect of it. At the same time, if you have someone who's really good at playing any. It makes your life easier like, as a unit to move with the ending because you always have, a human being behind a player instead of relying on the AI to pass back to keeper 60 yards away from goal, right?
Yeah, it makes sense, especially the person playing the any. Can any of you guys explain how the series works? Because I know it's 3 games. Can you explain how the series works and the point system? How many points do you get per win and all that good stuff?
Okay, so it's 3 games per series. It's not a best of 3. It's just 3 games straight up. For each game that you win, you get 1 point. So even if you're like down 2-0 in a series and you lost, you can still fight for that 1 point. That can be a real difference maker in your season. So it gives more fight because if you got swept, then kind of that's it. So you still have something to fight for.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I jump in here? Like so, we went 6 games losing streak, right? We got swept twice, and then we won a series. We swept one, right? And then we saw the points. So this is prior to Thursday's matchup. So we had a conversation. Everybody's pretty up. Everybody's feeling good. First of all, whoever does standings, they kind of leaked the wrong information. They kind of told us we're in fourth place, so we were really hyped for a second. Then they kind of shut us down and said, "No, you guys are in fifth place." So,
It happened.
Yeah, that was
so-
on me.
so-
That was
no,
on me.
I'm completely messing with you.
Yeah.
But they, we lost 6 games. We won 3, and that put us like right back up there. We're like a few points away from a playoff position, and that's what happens, right? Because of this single point thing that we incorporated this season. It's tight, right? Like we had 6 games that we completely shit the bed, but we won a series, and now we're back in it. And if you look at the table now, it's there, right? Like I think, even for us, we're like 2-3 points away from a playoff spot after getting swept again. Another series. It's really competitive, right? Even if you're shit. I mean, Stardust, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, Vic, I get it. You guys are good, right? But for everybody else, like it's still a league there. It's still something to play for, which makes it fun.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like we had a chance to be tied with Straight Fitness Star Lords for first place, but the first game against Chonchos, we missed 2 penalty kicks, and then in the 90th minute, our AI left back, because our left back disconnected because EA servers are bad.
Yep.
Our AI left back like swung at the ball and completely missed and gave Chonchos the winning goal. So I mean, we didn't play good. I'm not saying like we played amazing, but it just sucks because it's so random.
Shout out to Chonchos, dog. I can't wait to play you guys the battle of the worst. It's gonna be a good matchup. I can't wait to play you guys.
That's gonna be the match day flyer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep. Battle for what is doing, dog.
Prime time and everything.
Exactly. Make sure
I was gonna say that since you guys play 3-game series, for 1 point each, what about playoffs? How is that gonna work?
Playoffs, like I said, 4 teams are gonna make the playoffs, but it's gonna be a 2-leg series. No away goal rule, but if it's tied after 2 legs, then if it's tied after 2 legs, you back out, play 45 minutes of the 3rd game, and I believe I might be wrong. I might have to look back, but it's golden goal after that 45 minutes, and you just keep on playing. Is winning after the 45 minutes of the kind of extra time, game 3, then you win, you advance.
Man,
it works the same way for the finals.
Somebody's gonna have to be on that stream, paying attention to making sure that all that, because you know what I mean.
Yeah,
those are some strict rules going into playoffs. Just win in the home and away game. Just win that. You're good.
Yeah.
Don't send it to VAR. Don't send it to VAR.
Straight understands. We got this, Dalton Trip. Got you, baby. I got you.
George got the emojis ready.
George got this, dog. George got this for sure.
Also, yeah, the final is going to be streamed on the LA Galaxy Twitch. I thought that was something that's very cool. I got in contact with Adam Serrano, and he helped me with that. So
also shout out to Adam. He's been helping us out a lot with the EMLS leagues. So shout out to him, and hopefully, you guys get the 2 best teams in there. I think Star-Lords right now they're the reigning champs, right? And they're looking to be first place again. So somebody got to
chill.
Somebody got to knock them off on their horse.
Can we stop with the streamment? Can we stop with the streamment, dog? Come on.
I was gonna ask, like, what do you think has made you guys successful? And then you guys keep going to be successful right now this season. You guys are still doing good. And what can you guys get better at?
You mean as a team or? Oh, my bad. Okay. I misunderstood that. Go ahead.
At least for our team, I feel that part of it that made us successful was just kind of all having that winning mentality. Because even if you join our streams, you always kind of hear us complain if we drop a point. It's always that we just try to be the best we can, because we have fun when we win, and when we win, we have fun. So we just try to continue sweeping, and if we can't, well, props to the other team for putting up a better fight. But just the winning mentality has always just been there, and we always just kind of want to be our best. Even though it's just a video game, you all just kind of get that feeling of enjoyment, of excitement, just winning, and I think that's just what leads us.
There's competition, man. There's competition. I'm pretty sure everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win. Nobody wants to win. They just wants to lose. So
and I think that's one of the better things in the league as well, because I feel like any team could be any team in the league if they just put up the fight, if they could adapt, and that's what we just try to do. If we drop the first one, we just have our heads up high and just say, you know what, we just dropped the point. Let's go get the other two. And like I said, that just kind of goes back to the mentality I was talking about. If we're down 2-0 at half, we just try and head up and win 3-2, and we just try and adapt to every game.
Hey, Vic, how old are like all the Star Lords? Are you guys pretty much the same age? I got a working theory, and this is why I'm asking. I got a working theory. It's not some wild ass like how you guys. I got a working theory. I got something for your ass.
Maybe they're all drinking Gatorades, bro, not drinking beers.
You want to hear my theory before you answer me? All right,
all right, let's hear the theory. Is this Rudy's theory or straight from the stands pro club's theory?
I can't confirm nor deny, but I'm gonna let you know anyways. They're all on their teams, right? And they live off of Red Bull, so they're fast. They're fast, you know what I mean? Because like, I don't get it. Like I'm there, I made the tackle, and they still have the ball. Like how? Like these people just got there. Like I don't get it. Their reflexes are about that much faster than mine, dog. So they're all 16 and they drink Red Bull all night long. That's how they get it done. That's it. I believe Peyton does the same diet too. So both these young kids are unfair advantage, dog.
Maybe since we're older, you have to play them at a earlier time. These people are barely waking up like around 9 o'clock. You play them like around 6, they're still probably sleeping.
No, I have a new idea I'm gonna throw around. I'm gonna make a veteranos league, 30 and over. So we could play in the same level field. Like these kids are too young. They're too fast. Yeah, exactly. 30 and over clubs.
If you're wearing vapors, your player can't play. You gotta wear Mizunos, some fucking Lotos.
If you have to put Kofal in your hands to play FIFA, hit me up. We're gonna start a club and shit.
Now going back to what do you guys think now, Peyton and Rudy? What do you guys need to do for your teams to get to that final? To pick up that cup?
Personally, for Cosmo FC, I think we're good. I think on attack, we need to be a bit more aggressive with the shots. Sometimes we'll have the one-on-one opportunities, and we just sometimes back off from the shot and try to look for other options. But sometimes taking that shot isn't bad because you never know, especially in FIFA and from wherever you can score. You never know. And then defensively, just keeping shape and use those attacking opportunities to regain shape and not let teams like Star-Lords with the fast counterattack get in behind, which is hard. They're so fast, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah, Red Bull theory. Somebody in the chat, Samuel Gonzalez in the chat says Guardians are coming for Star-Lords. So we shall see.
I don't even think they're in the playoffs right now. So,
Rudy, what do you think about your team? What do they need to do to get to the final, to pick up the cup?
Some ruda and some velas. Now, listen, we
gotta pray.
Yeah, we gotta do everything, dog. What do you need? We just gotta play. All right. I think total, besides like league matches, we played like maybe 7 matches together. So like, we're not that good. You know what I mean? Our ratings are pretty low. I have, I think, 80 games. That's because I play like with I play with somebody. I play in another team, so I have 80 games. But most of our other players, I think there's like 4 or 5 of us that have like 70 plus games. Everybody else has like 30 games max. All right, so we just got to level up. There's there's only so much you can do when your player is like 82 or something like that. So we got to level up. And we got to play some matches. Like, we just haven't played. Listen, there's times when we figure it out. Rare. I'll say that much is rare. But when we figure it out, we look really good, right? And I'm like hyped. I'm like, yo, this is what we got. And plus, big shout out to Jesse. Jesse right now, it's fire, bro. Like, you put him in front of goal, he's going to score it. You know what we've done the last 3 matches? And then the 6 before that? Not find Jesse in front of goal. Right? So, like, how the fuck would we expect our best player right now to score goals and we can't put him in front of goal? So it's on us. We just gotta play some fucking matches and get used to playing, get comfortable with each other. It's funny because we were supposed to, like, when league ended, actually no, the tournament we had, right? We ended and we had a good run. We had a good run. We ended up losing, I think, semifinal. So they were hyped, right? We did a short tournament because FIFA 20 was kind of coming to an end. FIFA 21 coming out. FIFA 21 comes out, everybody buys it, we get hyped. Like, yeah, let's get in, let's get early. Nobody talks for about 2 months, though. And then it's like, hey, season starts this week. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It is what it is. So we're trying to figure it out.
That straight from the stands money paid off a good vacation.
No, listen, bagos, dog, borrachos, just what I mean, like everything. We're trying to figure it out though, but it's kind of depending. Maybe, listen, I think Tuesday games really work out for us. Thursdays not so much. I'll come to them on my stream on Tuesdays. Forget about it on Thursdays. You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna work for me.
You know what? I have a question. In Liga G, the team I feel that everybody wants to beat is Cosmos. When it comes to Liga Galaxia, who's that team that every team pretty much wants to beat?
That's the defending champions. You know, you always want to knock the defending champions off. It's hard. You know, you got to give them credit. That doesn't happen often. But, you know, it does feel nice when you do get that win against them. But, you know, that's the team to beat. They're top of the standings right now. So, reigning champs, that's the team you want to beat.
Now, Vic, how do you feel always having a target in your back? Like for every game, everybody's going to show up. Everybody's there early. Everybody knows they're playing you that day. So, how do you
Vic
feel?
wants all that smoke, man.
There's no days off for you. There's no days off for you.
There's no days off. You know, like I said, and everybody just like kind of talks before prior matches, talking about how they're gonna beat us or anything. They just kind of build up more. You know, our striker boat. We had a main group chat, right? So everybody was talking before the game, and then one of the players said, "You're not gonna score at all today," or something along the lines of that. And then he comes in and scores like 3 hat tricks. So I think just the whole team feels the need to win and feel to prove everybody that we're the best, because that's what we consider ourselves, right? You know, we have a star above the crest, we have the patch, and we're just trying to get more success and just try to become better every week, play better as a team every single week, every single day that we hop on.
Rumors have it that you guys already have the second jersey with the second star already working on it. Is that true?
Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. You gotta stop
Hey,
that nonsense.
hey,
You gotta chill,
hey.
dog. You gotta chill, dog.
Manny Rojas knows everything, bro.
Manny
chill,
Rojas.
Manny Rojas be lying, dog. Manny Rojas be lying.
I've been saying he's a rumor, bro. I've been saying
He's
rumors.
saying some wild ass shit.
I mean, I am working on another jersey, so hopefully when season ends, we have 2 stars. Well, our mentality right now is that we are gonna have 2 stars, and that should be up end of the season, hopefully. That way, if anybody is interested, it's a all black kit with the pink Star Lords on it, a whole repeating like polka dot type kit. So if anybody's interested, we'll just hit us up in the DMs after the season's over, and then we'll hit you up with that.
That was up.
Listen, no hate at all. I think the strongest brand in Liga Galaxia is Star Lords, right? Like, cause their branding is on point. Dog. Like some of this shit, like I'm like, yo, like this is fire. Like I don't care what it's for. Like this is just nice, right? That polo that you guys
Raffling?
I was like, nice. Yo, and also like those Star Wars covers you guys just dropped recently too. Like, I like, yo, this is some nice shit. Like I like this regardless of what the fuck it's for. Like this is nice. So a big shout out to fucking.
I actually appreciate all that hard work, because you know people say it's a video game, but shit, all the hard work that goes just for one post, you know, that's just tight. I admire it. I like it. I try to create shit like that.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys are like creators based on, I know Rudy is one. Vic, now I know that you are one. I know some people from, you know, Liga G, and all the stuff that you guys do, man, that's just tight. It's a lot of hard work, and it's tight, even if it's just for 30 seconds, but that's just tight.
Yeah. It's fun though. It's fun as shit, man. It's fun. I don't have like, I have stuff to do, bro. But then like, you know, I get a wild idea. I'm like, oh, let me try that. So I go get like a screen cap or something, or download one of my streams and try to edit that shit out just to, you know, for no apparent reason. 3 hours later, I'm like, damn, 14 seconds look dope though, you know?
So you guys have so obviously you guys saw that, you know, Liga G actually streamed on the Twitch. Are you guys working on something like that? And, you know, if you guys need some help or anything put together, let us know. I think we're more than help you guys out. But I think you guys have some pretty good creators on your side that could put some good stuff together.
Yeah,
definitely. I'll be from Pineapple. We're gonna be in the final. What I was gonna say is that I'll be from Pineapple Breath. So we kind of have like this whole affiliation thing going, because I have some homies over there, so we just affiliated clubs now, right? And I reach out to Albie here and there. I'll be like, yo, can you help me with this design? Like, I don't know like how I should like go with it, or like if you got a new message, and we just kind of communicate like that because, like you said, it's just a video game, but it means a lot to us as a whole team and as a whole league in general.
Hey, but listen, can I just say something right here? And it's gonna be some grown like old man talk for a second. But it is just a game, right? But like let's start for Peyton. Like my man has organizing experience. Like he knows how to organize and create a community. Like yeah, man. Same thing for you. Like you do a lot that yeah, it's just for a game, but you're working on stuff that's getting shared. You know what I mean? And stuff that represents a brand. Like all that is a lot more than just a game, right? Like that could go in either one of you guys' portfolios, and it's something, right? Because it's validation for you guys. You know what I mean? Like not only like the community appreciates, but listen, there's you got cross platforms that acknowledge each other now, right? Off of something that's grassroots, and that's really really dope, man. You know what I mean? And I'll stop with my old man talk, but that's it's more than just a video game. Like when it comes to what you're doing.
Just to feed off of what Rudy said, like what you guys are doing is tight. It's it's something that you guys can work on your future based on. This is just the beginning for you guys. Yep. Like you said, we did something for the Galaxy Twitch, and the feedback we got from the FO, so they're like, hey, we need to know more about you guys. We need to know more about you guys' league. It was pretty cool. I think we maxed out like 145 people viewing on a Sunday, watching two guys commentating on a video game. You know what I mean? So for 145 people to be watching together, and we had a party chat going on. We actually joined the PlayStation, put the party chat on, watching the game, and we're just all talking back and forth in our group. So I can see the same thing going on for Liga Galaxia coming into their final. So you never know who's gonna watch. You never know who's gonna see your product. Just know that, like, hey, it's always good to put face to who does that stuff. So we really appreciate all that.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking about the Liga G Final, man, like that was fun. I had no idea what to expect, but
you came in a suit with nothing to expect in a suit.
Listen, I ain't do shit 2020, dog, so I hadn't had a chance to use it. Y'all gave me an opportunity. I threw that motherfucker on. I was like, yeah, let me look spliffy for a second. But that shit was fun. That playing or just commentating with Eddie on a really dope series, right? Like that was a really good matchup. And like Manny was saying, 100+ on the Galaxy stream was super fun to be a part of. So for sure, I'm gonna have I'll back up Peyton to whatever he needs. Unfortunately, I'm playing that final, so I won't be able to commentate like I would for DG. So
see, I think it's cool. Like for example, like the whole commentating. Maybe someone from the PlayStation League could take care of the commentating, and then for the PlayStation, someone from Xbox, so we could start pretty much not combining the leagues because it's not cross-platform, but help each other out.
Imagine if it was.
See, imagine, because for now you guys have 6 teams. I believe there's 8, 9 teams in Liga G. That would be around 15 teams. So that would be so cool if it was cross-platform. But unfortunately, it's not. But yeah, let's touch a little bit on the final. Were you guys surprised by the result?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just jumped in. Yeah, I was. I low key thought Cosmo was gonna make easy of it. You know what I mean? I love the underdog story, but I thought realistically they were gonna make it easy. But man, it was a matchup, right? Somebody clipped me fucking busting my best Manny impersonation when Juana had missed that last shot at the end. So yeah, it was good. I didn't expect it. It was really good though.
Yeah, just sitting off what Rudy said, I think everybody was kind of thinking Cosmo was going to take it, but I'm pretty sure most of the people on that stream kind of wanted it because of the underdog story, and it almost came back too. They just lost by a goal and in the end, but big ups to Cosmo for starting this whole thing. But
big up to both those teams in the final though, man. Like if we could get in our league a final that mimics that, though, I'll be happy as shit because that was a good final. Like
you guys had to bet money on your final, and it cannot be your team. It cannot. You have to pick 2 teams, but it cannot be your team. All right. Who do you guys have?
I'll start. I would say Star Lords versus I'm gonna go with the upset and say, or no, not the upset, but the underdog and say Squadron. Think they play.
Oh,
I
that'd be
think they play
interesting.
good. Yeah, I think
I've seen them
that'd be an
play.
interesting matchup.
I've seen them play. And
Big
if they
shout
can,
out to Spencer. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I think partly a little obvious, but Star Lord and effort. I think both these teams. First of all, I think they have like really strong meta builds, and they know what the fuck they're doing. Right? Like they and the thing about it is not one thing. Is like they're really quick on recognizing where your hole's at and exploiting the hell of it over and over again. And you know it's coming, and you just can't stop it. So I think those two teams are the strongest teams to beat, and I see them in the final. As long as they don't meet in the way to the final, I think they'll make it to the final. Yeah. But obviously, Straight Fan Stan's gonna come back, and we're gonna take everything, so it's okay.
We're
done. Vic?
answer this question. Just two teams. If it wasn't us, which kind of hard to see, I'll just probably say,
oh yeah,
crazy story, like probably like Cosmo or EG, but Escuadron. But you know, I just don't see that happening, frankly. But hopefully,
yeah,
you get there again.
talk your smack, though.
Obviously, I think if I had to pick a team that, let's say Starlord's there, I actually think that Cosmos probably will make it there. They have a strong forward, and I think he doesn't give up. You know what I mean? He doesn't no perdona. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he gets one chance.
Who's the forward?
Hoffman. Yeah, we got Hoff.
Yeah.
He's from.
I'm saying you give him one chance, I think he can put it away. And I think in playoffs you need that.
We got him from Fadelanza. That was so far a signing of this
That's
season.
why
he's been amazing. He disconnected last year.
There you go.
His internet went out, but
now you know why the team
really
broke.
Good.
See, and I could talk on that because I played with him, and I won't be real. In that team, we didn't have no one to give him like the plays and give him good balls and create chances for him. And I think now that he has a good squad, we've seen the potential that he has and the great player that he is. But in Star Lords, I know they have a good striker as well. It's Bold, right? Vic, can you touch a little bit about him and his play? Because I think one of the games I saw, if I'm not mistaken, he scored a hat trick in the first half. I might be wrong, but I seen that he's a good goal scorer as well.
Yeah, it just depends. I think he's done a couple of hat tricks in the first half this season alone, but I don't want to compare him to Hoff because I feel like he's way better. No diss to Hoff though. I just feel like when we when we work as a team, he scores. He's that goal scorer we need. We know we could trust him in front of goal. He finishes most of the time. Right now he's sitting at 30 goals, not even halfway through the season. Last season he got 40. So we're just trying to break his record, trying to make new records in the club alone, and we're just trying to feed him the ball as much as we can, which is hard because now there's like 2-3 guys man marking him every single time, and his build, like he's 5'3", he's pretty short, so he can't reach headers or anything. So it's all
he's Central American, you say, huh?
He's Central American.
Yeah. Cheat code, dog.
Cheat code.
Cheat code, dog. It's not even fair.
I think it's hard to compare Hoff and Boat because they're two very different strikers. Boat's a very small striker, and he has they play a 4-4-1-1, I believe. But okay, yeah. Prodigy plays as the cam. He more plays as a second striker. So Boat gets out wide, and then he picks up the ball, gets it to Prodigy, and Prodigy finishes it, or Prodigy gets it in midfield, catches Boat in behind.
He's like Payne does his film, huh?
See, we need Payne a part of the scouting team with the Galaxy.
We've played them too many times to know. Yeah, I mean, you can't stop it though. It's hard to stop. It really is. They adapt pretty well.
He says, Rudy, instead of watching the novela, watch some film.
I'm not here looking for a timestamp so I can come back and listen to exactly what he said again, though. You know what I mean? I just need to record that and kind of get the Chico from there. No, but these guys are right? I think Boat is just everywhere, man. Too many times, like, you know what I mean? And that's why he makes the difference because, like, I'll play. This year I've been swapping a lot between like right and CDM. So like, you think you know where he's at, and that's the problem. right? Like you kind of remember he was there, and then in the next play he's like on the opposite wing, and it's like, what the fuck? Like you were just right there. And where the other one is just a fucking like he's a problem. You put him anywhere near the goal, he's gonna be a problem. Two different strikers, but both of them are good. Even though Vic over here talking mad loud about his players and this shit.
What's up?
Peyton,
Let- let-
do you have an idea of how many goals Hoffman has? Because I know he's also like going for he wants to go for the Golden Boot.
Yeah, he wants to get the Golden Boot. There's still plenty of season left, but it's going to be really tough because Boat has just been scoring left and right, and he's been doing good as well. Hoff has just been finishing all the chances, I believe, because keep in mind he missed last series, but I believe he has 11 goals, so there's quite a lot of separation between him and Boat, but we'll see. The win is the most important thing. I'm glad we have a great striker like Hoff that can help provide that, and we got good support.
True coach
and,
right there.
Yeah, we got good support in our Cams, Elias, and Aldo, and our second striker named Christian E. We have two Christians on the team. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of support for him. That's why he does so good.
I was gonna say,
go ahead, Manny.
I was gonna say, like, obviously you guys have two good strikers, and I've also seen another couple of games where they actually have good strikers. Also, I just think they just need to get a service a little bit more the ball. Obviously Rudy's talking about Jesse. I've seen him in a couple of your streams that if he gets that ball, maybe just quicker, that he's right in front of the net. He could probably shoot, and he also doesn't miss many if you put him right in front of it.
And that's it, and that's really it, right? It's funny because last season he was the end of a joke a lot of times, right? Because we put him on, wanted to keep it, and he would just figure a way how to mess it up. All right, so we gave him a lot of shit last year. This year, man, like I think the series versus Guardians, he didn't miss. Like he didn't miss every single shot he took. He put a goal in, and like and it, like the very few times we practice is that type of thing. Once you put him in a goal, he score. So the only reason he's not in contention right now is because we ain't shit and we can't put a service in for him so he can score goals, man. And we got to figure that out because he should be scoring goals. We have goal scorer, like it's FIFA, right? Like you need to score goals, and we have that. We just can't figure out how to get a ball.
Also with Escuadrón Galáctico that I seen a couple of their streams. Also, I seen Eric. He scored some nice goals, and for most of the time they're in the game or in the lead, and I just think they give it up the last 15-20 minutes of each game. And I don't know if they go out to score more goals or they just don't change their strategies to finish the game. I don't know, but they just need to probably, if they were to close out the last 15-20 minutes in certain games, I think they will be in better position than they are right now, because I've seen Eric and he scored some bangers for them.
Yeah. They also got that one guy whose name is Maradona in the game as a player, and that guy beast. That guy plays, man. He's good. You know what I mean? I hate seeing him on top of the box with the ball because like he makes my defense look dumb sometimes. So he's also nice.
Yeah, now let's touch a little bit on the Liga G awards that were pretty much announced today. The defensive player of the year went to his username on Twitter is Lights Just Blur. He's a left back from Walnut Park, and he was the defensive player of the year. What do you think about that, Manny?
You know what? Big is up to him. He was a free agent coming into season 2. Nobody knew of him. He actually joined in one of the combine that we actually try to have, and look at him now. He got a team in Walnut, and I think he played left back, and he had over percentage. I think he had like 89% passing rating. He won almost 400 tackles. So I don't know. The stats were nothing close. The stat line that we had over him are like, hey, there's nothing beating him on the for defensive player of the year. So and he made it to the final, and he actually put up I think it was 2-1 in the first game, and then obviously 3-2 in the last one. But you know what I mean? That was a big come up for being a free agent, not playing season 1 to joining the team, a brand new team, and becoming defensive player of the year. That's what's up.
Hey, Manny, MTK should have scouted him, man. You let one go right there.
Hey, we had two candidates. Our left
Oh,
back was a candidate too, but it just we just lost.
and see, and then I'm gonna come today and say season 3. It's either gonna be me or my partner at left back. We had a good defense. Especially we gelled well towards the end. I think we have 4. Yeah.
I think the
So
closest ones was one.
yeah, so I think either Joseph and I will make a nice little run. I know Leo's
But we
been
still didn't
lucky.
make playoffs, bro. But we still
Yeah,
didn't make playoffs.
but we've made it interesting. I know Leo's holding it down defensively as well, and then on the right, Chapin.
Who
So I
else?
feel, yeah, yeah. So he's playing with
Well,
us.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
I had to go recruit him from Quesalitos.
you got it back. Hey, listen, I'll say something about defensive award this year though. The fact that like it's the transition between the 2021 and you could pick up defense, because I think defense is one of the things that's, I don't know if it's defense or attacking that's broken in this game, but I find defending a lot harder this year than in 20. So whoever's picking up that award, like on transition year when you come from 20 to 21, big shout out to you because you picked that up quick.
But I have another
I'm
question.
still struggling with that.
Rudy, you say you play C-back and midfield, right?
Yeah.
Peyton and Vic, what do you guys play out on the field?
I play striker, but this season I've been playing more of defensive midfielder. I picked that up from the tournament that we had between FIFA 20 and FIFA 21 after season 1. I had tried something out with CDM. I liked it, and we are missing our CDM, Panda Sensei. He's been having school, so we miss him. But yeah, I've been picking up that role. It helped me control the midfield. But last series I played striker.
Funny story, your CDM, I think is Drift.
Yes.
He was part of Quetzalitos, right? The PlayStation. And the first time we ever met him, we were getting ready to practice. We're like, all right, let's go. He joined in the party chat, right on Twitter, right? He's like, all right, where you guys at? Like, this is our name. And we sent him the name, and he was like, I can't find you guys. And we're like, what do you mean you can't find us? We're like, this is us. We're all here for like a cool 20 minutes. And then he was like, I can't find you guys. He's like, we told him, like, what are you on? He's like, I'm on Xbox. What are you guys? We're like, we're on PlayStation. He's like, oh, my bad.
That shit was hilarious.
That shit was hilarious. For like 20 minutes, we're going back and forth, sending pictures of friending people and everything.
That was amazing, bro. Listen, I had good times playing for Guatemala on both the PlayStation and the Xbox side because it was all jokes. Though. It was all jokes. We made, I think we made it to a final. We made it to a final on the Xbox side. We just, of course, joked, but it was fun. It was fun times for sure.
Now, when you guys split up to do the World Cup, was there like a formula you guys decided to do, or did you guys just like, hey, you play for this team or you guys play for that team?
Initially I was gonna get more complicated with it, but at the end of the day, just about having fun in between seasons. So for the World Cup, we didn't. You could pick your team. That's all it was. You could just pick your team, have a squad, and have some fun. Have some fun with new people.
Oh, so that's cool.
Yeah, that fool George represented France for some reason. That's why you just did. He's like France. Well, okay, cool. That works.
La pupusa la cabeza. Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry.
Yeah. So and then I believe the defensive player to win wins Luis Vela art gift card, right? So that was his big shout out to Luis. So the defensive of the year, that's he gets, that's one of his awards. And then Heriberto says that they found him in the Liga G World Cup. So that's something cool about that tournament, a good way to recruit, because you're playing with other people that's not part of your team. So that's a pretty good way to recruit your players. Now
that's why we got Leo.
Yeah, same thing. That's how we got Leo and I believe Hugo, right? Pretty much he played
Huguito,
with, yeah. And then
he was totally against pro clubs. He was totally against pro clubs. And look at him now.
You guys recreated Quetzalitos over there, huh?
Yeah. Pretty much, bro. In the same majes, and we're still losing.
Yeah, we still get 20 shots on goal and just score one. Yeah, it's the same.
Yep.
So the
That was
social
fun. I don't wish to relive it, but it was fun.
the
Oh, that's
social
fucked up, bro.
media award that goes to Albie from Pineapple Brad. I feel he does some really good content, so I think that was well deserved from Albie.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was well deserved. I think he did the most consistent social media posting and nice, clean, elegant stuff. I actually like it. I think it was I like his. I like Eddie's. Um, I think Walnut Park brought up their game a little bit more on the social media. So bigs up to those three guys coming up. But I just think Albie was the most consistent throughout the whole season, and it's nice. And then it showed on the final. Actually, showed on the final. He was the man
Everything.
behind the producing everything. And big shout out to him because he took it on and he's like, I'm gonna do this, and I wanted this, and I was like, hey, let's put a team with him and that talks computer, like you can say that. And then with an Eddie and Rudy, they made everything happen. So that's big shout
Yeah.
out to Albie.
Nah, man, and I'll take no credit for that because I just showed up. And I was telling him like, yo, like you put all that together, like big shout out to you, though, because like again, he's streaming for 150 people, wwhatever it was. Like, you know what I mean? It's dope,
20
man. So
minutes.
big shout out to him. Man, I bet like he was sweating. He must have been tired by the time it was over because he was stressed, bro. That day he was stressed. So big shout out to Avi for that.
Yep.
And I believe he gets counter code gift card, right? That's
Countercode
his
gift
award.
card. So shout out
Yeah.
to Countercode for helping us out and all that. Appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Hit him up. He has some badass stuff. Some hats, some pins.
Yeah, that is fire. Crew niggas fired too.
Yeah, and then MVP and Golden Boot that goes to Steve 312 from Beer Bellies, and I believe that's 12 Threads gift card. So shout out to 12 Threads as well.
Yeah, Rick shout out to 1 2 Threads, and then he also gets from somebody else from the Golden Boot, right?
Oh yeah, that award I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah, he won
I'll tell
both
you
both things. And then
that
last
right
but
now.
yeah, and then once you have it, just let me know. And then for goal of the year, um, man, that was a nice goal. And then just give me a quick second, I'll be able to get it on the screen for everybody to take a look at it as well. It was a corner kick, bicycle kick basically,
Oh yeah.
and that was by Rodolfo from Walnut. So that was a pretty good goal.
Galaxy Fan Talk. He gets also a gift card from Galaxy Fan Talk for being MVP and Golden Boot for Stevie. So congratulations, Stevie. That's hey, that guy was hard to fucking mark. We actually tried to fucking control that team, man. He still managed to fucking score on us.
Yeah, so I think all the awards were
nice.
really cool is that big Galaxy
Nice,
community
Cactus.
people that pretty much all those small businesses that were basically sponsors. So I think that's really cool. That we were able, well, you and the rest of the people in the leadership were able to put that together, Manny.
Well, I think the easy part is just talking to them, and then I think them just being on board, it made it so easy for us. So also, goal of the year for Rodolfo, banger. I think it was like the first goal, the first game, home opener, first goal, banger. And then hopefully he gets a gift card from Nelson for his pictures. Hopefully he picks the 7 pick with the bicycle kick. It just matches.
Yeah.
It just matches.
Nice.
It's meant to be. He got that picture. He got that goal. I think it was meant to be.
Definitely is, and a big shout out to Nelson as well.
You know what? I also want to get Nelson and 1 2 Threads gonna do a pop-up shop at Da Vinci's Ice Cream in Carson tomorrow.
I believe
right?
it's from 2 to 4 tomorrow.
Yeah.
From 2 to 4. And if you buy some ice cream, you get into a raffle, or they have something on discounts for them. So big shout out to them going
Yeah.
out and helping out the community ice cream. And then everybody know what happened with the Da Vinci that broke in to stole some raffle items, but their store back. So Louis God's
Yeah.
work, baby.
Big shout out to you. Man, I love seeing the community take care of each other, dog. I mean, I really, really enjoy that, and that's dope. So big shout out to them.
So let's go ahead and talk a little Galaxy. Right now we were
Hold
all
on,
happy.
Sorry. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Hernandez. Obviously, his award was the Golden Glove. their players that play goalie didn't input their stats, so we found it unfair to give it to one goalie, just based on that we kind of know who was playing goalie. So without stats, we couldn't now get out the award. So goalies get mad at your managers for not inputting your stats. We told them from the beginning, no stats, no awards. So thank you Ryan Hernandez for at least helping us out with that. Unfortunately, we couldn't find you a Golden Glove candidate, but thanks.
All right, so let's go in and talk a little Galaxy. So this week was the expansion draft. Austin was able to select players that were left unprotected, and the Galaxy left players unprotected, and that list was David Bingham, Joe Corona, Emil Cuello, Rolf Felcher, Johnny Gonzalez, Giancarlo Gonzalez, Insua, Kitchen, Shelvick. He's still part of the team. Vom Steeg, and Gordon Wild. So I feel there's no big surprise. But the player that was selected was Joe Corona. Played 2 seasons with the Galaxy, 46 appearances. What's your opinion, Rudy, about Joe being selected by Austin and no longer being with the G's?
I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. If I'm Austin, there's Joe Benny there, and especially if you're looking at Liga Galaxy, some of the players that might have been intriguing are on a contract that goes expired on the 31st. So no point in taking them. Joe Corona, I think, is definitely, whether he's off the bench or starting for you, a solid piece. But wasn't moving the needle in either direction, and it's salary that they're taking from you, giving you more money to kind of shape your squad for next season, right? Especially if you're in the bunch that believe that we need a full makeover of the team, then this is good for us. Getting rid of a contract like that's sizable is good for us.
Yeah, because
on what Rudy said.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it just makes sense. I think he won a championship with America, and I think Tijuana también with Cholos. He's an experienced vet. He knows how to manage his club. If Austin, he's a great captain, in my opinion. I think it makes sense. I think that there was no other better midfielder that you could have chosen from that, at least from the club, and hope the best for him.
Yeah.
I actually kind of got hurt when they actually picked out Joe Benny, because I actually think that he actually did fight for the club. He was one that actually played for the colors when he was on the field. He gave everything he had. But like you said, it makes sense. We already have somebody that can play the same position, which is Sebastian Legit. Technically, he could play that position, and he's under contract under PAM. So if you're trying to bring him younger, he has to be the one that has to be moved. And if I was Austin, I would have picked him also. He's a great player.
Yeah. I agree. And, I think you get it, like Vic was saying, a player has won multiple championships in the MX, right?
He's a professional.
You're probably going to spend like TAM money on him, but it's not like even a high TAM, right? Like, ticks all the boxes, I think. He's American too, right? So, like, fucking international slot. For Austin, it makes a lot of sense. Fresh start for him too, like over there, right? I mean, I wasn't upset because I agree with you, Manny, that he does. He did fight for the club. He seemed like he always wanted to play for us, but he wasn't moving the needle for me. Like, he wasn't the defensive player we needed at the middle. He wasn't the creative player we needed in the middle. Therefore, I'm not necessarily here for him to move. Right?
Let him get paid.
At this point. With the G stuff, fuck the emotions anymore. I just want some raw results, baby. I don't care. Like,
let him get paid.
Hate the team, score for us. That's all I need. Yeah, I'm not mad at all.
Yeah, and then with Joe pretty much leaving the club, maybe the Galaxy bring back Carlos Harvey, or look for other options. Pretty much, free agency has started. And we didn't officially. Well, we still don't officially have a coach. How do you guys feel about the free agency starting and not having a coach? Because I was trying to think any other sport where that would happen, like NFL, NBA, or pretty much find something similar. And I haven't been able to come up with something similar of a soccer team or a sports team going to free agency.
You can't go get the jockey and then go get the horse. You got to go get the muscle. Who is it? It's going to be the horse. So you need a coach. I don't know why well, this is Klein, so I
Well,
guess.
hey, listen, it's also because our season ends. It's
Season
hard. It's
ended
hard to
fucking
compare.
3 months ago, bro.
Listen, all that being said, like free agency lands where it lands, right? The Galaxy decided to stick it out with with GBS until when they did on the FO, I believe a lot
Unfortunate.
of it. Yeah, but at the same time, it's also like funky ass MLS schedule, right? Like that's why you don't see it anywhere else because we're on this funky ass schedule where like free agency ends up being around similar time to like January window. Weird times, but what do you do, right? Like you now you have to wait. I don't even think you can make moves before you have somebody in the helm.
Charlotte's making moves. Talk about Charlotte, and we're still sleeping.
But here's the thing, though, right? Like I you guys to me is like an ironic argument because of a lot of fans they demand a big change. Like we need get rid of everybody, big change. Uh, moves now. But that's exactly what's led us to where we're at right now, right? Is hey, I got an idea. Let's bring me these four players. Doesn't work out. We got somebody else with another idea. Bring me three more players, and now you have like 20 players in the squad who are brought up by different players or different coaches. I mean, different thoughts who are not on the same page, and we have what 2020 season look for the Galaxy, right? Like
Correct.
there has to be some kind of patience, one way or the other, right? But we can't have everything you want
Okay,
and then still go fast.
so if you had your choice, we'll go around. Who's the coach that you want them to get? All right, you can start off. Whoever wants to start off first.
I'll start off. I I like Greg Vanny. I like him. I think he did really well with Toronto. I think it was close. Dom Kinnear would also be a great second option, but I'm glad it was Greg Vanny. I think, or possibly Greg Vanny. I feel like he's the guy to take over and possibly lead us back to where we were. That's the goal.
But Greg Vanny has Tim Lewicki, right? Behind him,
But,
helping him out. And
what'd you
he
say?
had him at TFC.
Oh yeah. I think his success was just so. I mean, they were a penalty shootout away from winning the CONCACAF Champions League.
Powerhouse, that's for sure. On the East.
Yeah, they were very irrelevant before he came in, and he just totally changed them.
You know what?
Like
Actually,
an actual.
what I actually like that after he Jaminko left, a lot of people were like, everybody was like, who is that guy? And that guy put himself on the map from that season one that he came in. And I think that was a great scouting report that TFC did that I don't think a lot of MLS teams would have taken that risk, making him a DP.
I think I'm gonna stay with Vanny. I read a while back that the main reason he went to Toronto was because he wanted to build a team. I think that's what we need right now because we've been putting 11 players on the field, but I don't think we had a team for the past 2 years, 3 years, maybe even more. So I think that's what we need right now. We need a solid core. Need to have a coach that can bring in the players that he wants. Hopefully the FO, does what it does. It lets him do his work and not force players like it did on Bruce, like it did on GBS. And
because we are touching on Greg Vanny yesterday. Shout out to Josh Gassman. He reported on Corner of the Galaxy that the Galaxy had a target for head coach and that the announcement could come as soon as Christmas. He didn't have the name, but that they had a target. And then today, right before we started recording, Grant Wall started reporting that the Galaxy were finalizing a deal to bring Greg Vanny to be our next head coach. It's not official yet; nothing has been signed. But Rudy, what's your opinion? Was this is this a good move if it does happen, or would you gone with a different option?
No, I like it, right? And I've been torn on what I think the Galaxy need as a head coach for next year. But I think this works, right? Because I think one of the key things you need to know is like you need an MLS coach. I think because we're so rocky, we need an MLS coach who knows what a winning season. I like Vanny because something you said, Manny, like his contribution to players that you think about is Jovinko and then Pozuelo, right? Like trademark things, those camp positions, right? Because we look at We look at Portland with Valeria and Blanco. We look at Seattle with somebody
Luero,
back me up.
Laredo.
We have,
brother.
like these campuses, it seems to be like a real key important piece in the MLS club, and something we haven't had a standout camp for a long, long time, right? Like even for a long time, we haven't had a camp who's
Gio.
of that characteristics. He should have been, but he wasn't, right? We need to clear that. So from the way I see it, I think Vanny comes in with a plan that he relies on a player like that, and since we don't have it currently, we have to go out and get it, and that because one of the focus is something that just the season. He's been yelling for a camp for a couple seasons now, right? And I think the appointment of Vanny like almost guarantees you're gonna bring somebody in who's quality in that position, and that's something I think is key. And you mentioned a good team that could get us out of this funk, right? Does that mean it's MLS Cup next year? I don't know, right? We could be it's MLS, but I wouldn't bank on it. But I think it is a move in the right direction. I think Vanny is a long-term project, which I'm something I'm hyped about, right? Like we've seen his tenure at Toronto. It wasn't short. He leaves Toronto with so yeah. Sure, to round it up, I think Vanny would be a good appointment, especially if they come in thinking, oh, a 3-4 year project where they're gonna let him work.
I totally agree with Rudy. Based on what Vanny says, would he get us to the MLS Cup next year? I don't think so. Playoffs, maybe. But one thing that he did do, he always had Toronto's almost in Champions League, and I think that's even in the domestic cups. So he maybe a U.S. Open Cup. You know what I mean? To get their brand out there, even playing Mexican teams, actually playing the first division, our first A team against whatever team they play. And Payton said he was a PK away of actually winning 4 cups in 1 year. You know what I mean? That would have been 1 year, and 1 PK away. So I think just with playoffs, I think we'll be okay. You never know; he might just go for the U.S. Open and actually get us in.
It's MLS, though, right? It's really MLS, right? And if there's a league that shit could happen, is this league? Like what I mean?
Columbus just won.
Again, listen. If you look at what the Galaxy, what everybody thought of the Galaxy coming into the season and where it ended up, shows you how much weird shit could happen in MLS. Because I guarantee you that from us 5 here, nobody could say there's nobody here to tell me that's what they imagine. Even the most pessimistic person in the world, I don't think, would have saw the Galaxy and say, "Hey, this is one of the last place teams in the league." Right?
Not on
so
paper.
I think it could be, yeah, right. So I think it'd be the opposite way around too. And we've seen it.
To go off what you said, like no one expected Nashville to even make it to where they did, and the first year, and then look at just the whole difference from the domestic challenge to us. Like we come out, bring Chicha, we bring out all these internationals that we've been trying to push for the past couple of seasons, and just haven't been working out because even though Klein doesn't want to admit it, it's all marketing, right? But we just need to look what Schmetzer did with Seattle. He's been there his whole coaching career, I think, and in that domestic talent, like he knows the league, he knows the rules, he's been there, he knows the experience.
That's you want to say something?
Oh, all I was gonna say was that what I like about him is pretty much I feel he could set a foundation that even if players come and go, the team's still gonna be good. And I feel that's what we lack. Kind of like when Bruce was here, we had players go, and the defense was still good at the midfield. And I just want someone that could bring a better culture and foundation. But go ahead, Rudy. Give us that thought that you had.
Well, listen, I think we're both on the same wavelength, right? Because I was going to bring that up too. Like, I think also what comes with him is a style of play, right? A style of play that it makes it easier for an injury or somebody leaves the club, right? Whatever it is, it makes it easy for you to come in and swap that player or bring somebody else in for a certain position. Right now, though, like you ask 10 different people, who really knows what we're trying to do, right? I think even if at first it's a little stalemate where like it's it is one certain thing, I think it's good for the Galaxy to have a kind of identity to build on and kind of move from there because we don't have right now. So I think he brings that in as well. And I never imagined it, turning out to be what it was. So
one thing he could probably bring that I think a lot of international coaches can't bring, since he knows how to win here, meaning that he knows when certain climates can make an effect of you. I think a lot of international coaches don't know that you've
plug and play here at 79 degrees, perfect weather. Then you go to Colorado, play -10, and you don't know what kind of effect that might's going to give you. And I think he knows all that. And that's good for the team, because that may say, hey, let's take an extra day to go get used to the climate, or let's not. You know what I mean? He'll know when to push the team, and when, you know what, let's just go get a scrap a point. We don't need to cut out a win because of this different type of climate or different type of scenarios. Over there, they're used to playing in, you know, same time zone, same climate all around.
But you know what? And I'm hoping this team does enough in the field that we don't have to think about, like,
I'm saying that he's smart enough to know that, to prep his team that way.
I'm saying I'm hoping we're not even talking about it, right? Because I guarantee you, if our team was winning, like,
correct, yeah,
we look for anything that make our experiences right now with this team all right. You know what I mean? And that's just being struck. I do it all the time, right? Like, I look at, but no, like, if this team is winning, bro, like, none of the other shit goes away. We're not even thinking about that. We're thinking about, like, oh, we're gonna go on this away trip and we're gonna win, right? Like, unlike right now. Listen, how many of us got in the plane and said, we're going on a away trip, we're gonna take an L, but we're gonna have fun, right? Like away trips. No, not many. All right, but listen, away trips, like, for me, like, at least over the last couple of years, that's what it's been. It's been like,
anyways.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, it is. But that's our mentality, right? Like, we're super pessimistic. I understand where nobody, like, trusts.
Expect the worst. Expect the worst. Hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
And let's say it is Van Tender by next year, but I think as long as we go baby steps and improve. But in your opinion, what would be a good year next year? Making the playoffs, maybe barely making the playoffs, or being a one of those maybe third or fourth place teams, or what do you guys see? Even though it's hard to see because we don't know what our squad looks like, but just knowing that possibly we have Greg Vanney as a coach, where do you guys see us finishing next season, Vic?
Yeah, I hear George saying it all the time. We're the LA Galaxy, though. We're supposed to be in the want everything that we touched on. I want a core. I want a style of play. I want a team that could actually consist of that whole team mentality instead of just 11 players, and just go start baby steps. You know, if we want to know what we want, you know, if we want to go Open Cup and push that, we want to push MLS Cup and rest our players throughout these midweeks and let the young kids, you know, because we just haven't had that in the past couple of years.
100%. I'll keep this short, right? I don't know. I don't even. I think it's a little way early for the season. Our goal differential is anywhere above +10, right? That means we goals that we couldn't keep up scoring goals to stay in the positive. So a +10 next year on goal differential will probably make me happy, bro, because that means we had a solid season on both ends, right? Where we scored enough goals to be there and didn't leak goals as we have. So we're like +10 in goals. I'll be happy. Fucked up, huh? It's fucked up. Like, that's where my expectations are. Like, it's down a couple notches than where it used to be, but it is what it is.
Peyton, what do you think?
Yeah, like Vic said, I think having an identity, and, you know, even if you don't make the playoffs, just showing those signs of improvement and, you know, capability that you can play as a team. Last season, sometimes we just look like a group of individuals, you know, and you really need a team. And you need an identity, and they have to have trust in the coach. You know, you can't lose that locker room. So I trust that Greg Vanney will keep the locker room, even in the bad days, even when you lose like 3-0. Yeah.
All right. You heard it here. We're going to make playoffs, and we're going to get the U.S. Open Cup. I think we have our American-based players that they should be able to try to get that U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, and that's the quickest way to Champions League. I personally would love to see the team back in Champions League. But you know what? Something interesting. It's Greg Vanney, ex-Galaxy player. I just hope that he still could bring that culture of the Galaxy. Like, this is what it means to play for the Galaxy. This is who our rival is, and it's that team up north, right? He lost a final against them in 01. And I just want to see a coach that pushes that tells them this is the team we gotta always get up to play, because they get up to play us, but we don't match that energy. And I just hope that
San
he
Jose.
could teach, San Jose, and
Fuck San Jose.
I just hope that's something that he could teach the players. Like, hey, that's our rival as well, of our first rival and our biggest rival hands down, and we should be able to get up every game, match the energy that they have, and even be better. That's something that I would like to see. But let's go ahead and move on. Pretty much this week, there was reports that the Galaxy submitted a bid for Christian Pavon for $8 million for 100% of his rights, and that was denied by Boca. It seems that what they want is 10 million for 80% of his rights. How do you guys feel about that? Especially with now the coach coming in. I personally feel that you put Christian Pavon to whatever coach and he'll be happy. Do you guys think the same, Rudy?
Yeah, 100%. Pavon is a special player, right? I don't think any coach passes up on him if you get him. As far as transactions right now, like it's I think Hammer was talking about it on Corner of the Galaxy not too long ago. It's that dance, right? Right. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like that 10 million for 100% of his rights. And you do it. I mean, I don't think you need a coach for that. Like that's it, that for whatever it's worth. Listen, he had a bad year last year, and he was still our best player by far. Right? You get a better team around him, and we seen what he could do. I mean, uh, yeah, like you sign him, man. Like on the
On
loan to
table,
begin
yeah.
with, so you're already up there, right? Like you're not gonna pay the 20 million. 10 million is probably steep, but that kid's young,
Really
and I
worth
think
it in the
still
long
room
run.
for exactly.
Vic, how do you feel? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, for $2 million, I pretty much just say, hey, take what we want. You want 10, let's do it. But at
It's
the
not
same,
our money. Take it.
yeah, but at the same time, I feel the Galaxy are being patient and they're playing it smart. They know that Boca pretty much needs the money, and there's no other teams from Europe coming and knocking the door. Because I think that was the only thing. If another team came and said, hey, we give you 15, I think that would have put us out. But how do you feel the Galaxy are playing this situation?
Hold on, Vic. Before you answer that, hold on. So when I did a little volunteer work before I got COVID, um, I was talking to somebody from the Galaxy, and they told me like, wouldn't you be surprised if a certain team from Europe actually came in and paid those 10 million, and with a player that actually played with him before, meaning AC Milan, like they have a young core, they could afford those 10, 12 million bucks and to spend on them, and they have
Right.
somebody that speaks highly of Pavon when it's Zlatan. Go ahead.
Just touching on what Rudy said, I think it's a good price. I mean, you always want to get him for cheaper, but 10 million is still half of what the original price was at. So I think it's just gonna be worth it. You know, like he said, was he was the worst. No, he was the best player on one of the worst teams that we've ever seen and we ever put on the field, and that just says a lot. You know, he always came out there, played with his heart. You know, he was exhausted after every single game. Even we saw it last year in the playoffs against Minnesota, where he just collapsed at the 90th minute because comes in and leads by example. Says, you know, even though you may be paying for a paycheck, this is the LA Galaxy, and you have to play with everything. You have to be exhausted after every match, and just push a narrative that the best is always what's needed to lead the team to success.
Peyton,
Yeah,
what's your opinion about Pavon?
You know, he speaks for himself. He's just such a talented player. You know, even more when you watch him in person. It's how much we'll see. Boca's desperate for money. He's one of the most talented players I've seen on, you know, like you guys said, a bad team. So if you
Yeah.
put a good team around him, you know, he'll light the league on fire because he has the skills to do it, and he showed so many flashes of it last year. I remember one of the only games I got to watch last season, preseason game against Toronto, when he just passed like 4 defenders and shot one from 30, and it just
Yeah.
went top left. That was insane. I think 10 million is going to be that mark. I think 10 million is fair, and I think Boca will gladly accept that.
I think
Yeah.
I'll say that I think if the Galaxy obviously they banked on Chicha, you know, meaning bringing people to the stands, and selling jersey, Pavon, because you need that player that's gonna mark, that's gonna bring attention away from Chicha,
Because if you take him out and you put another regular MLS winger, they're just gonna double team Chicha all the time. You need a Pavon and another winger or a Cam him to be the shadow MVP of the team because he's not gonna get the spotlight but off the pitch he's not gonna get the spotlight, but on the pitch he's gonna be the spotlight of the team, and that's what.
That's all true, right? Because I think Chirito could, he could have better. He has to have better season than what he had this year. But I think he could be the guy who carry that team too, right? I asked that earlier this year about him being able to carry a team, and the answer this year was no. But I don't necessarily think that was all on him, right? Like that's a heavy load to carry this year. And I think if you put anything that resembles a better team, like he could definitely carry the team, and that's probably setting up Chirito for 10 goals and scoring another 10 himself. And I think one thing we forget when we talk about Pavon too is like, I think he likes it here, right? Like all indications from all his posts seems like he really enjoys his time in Southern California and Los Angeles, and I think that's a good thing, right? Because but you have another team that's not an AC Milan type come knocking, or you come back to LA, like you present that to him. Hey, there's a good shot. I know it's Europe, but there's a good shot that he didn't choose his lifestyle here over unknown again, right? And he has time to do it anyways. He has time to do both. So
he's young. He can have some kids here, so he can be American. So we straight, dog.
Yeah. Listen, I honestly think as long as Galaxy are really committed to doing this, I think he should be back. And that's gonna be good for us.
Yeah, and then also there's been a few rumors, pretty much defensively. Jorge Villafaña came up as a rumor this week. Pretty much probably means that Insua won't be with the team this upcoming season. How do you guys feel about that? Because Insua, we know that he does require an international slot. So Manny, how do you feel about Villafaña joining the team possibly?
Brings championship mentality. I think he's a local kid. He's like I said, he doesn't take an international spot. We actually still have WR. If they can find a way to, out of those three, make one starter, which I think will probably be Villafaña, and then I guess rotating them in and out with Tiore, or I don't know how Daniel Cosa is coming off, but he should be good to go already. The other two guys are still young, so hopefully they learn something from Villafaña.
Rudy, what do you think about Villafaña?
Yeah, listen, in paper, it looks like a good move. So it's American, so that's another international slot your way. It's probably going to be a lot cheaper than Insua. I know Villafaña still gets his money because he's been in the league for a while, so I know he gets his money. But I don't think it'll be the same as in Insua. So I think it's a decent. Is a decent, maybe not upgrade, but like a like for like swap. That opens up a lot more options, right? Both money wise and the international spot that he takes. To me, I think it's all just a clear indication of really their attempt to clean the slate, right? Trying to have an empty canvas or as close to empty canvas for whoever the coach is coming in. So yeah, some options to move players around and bring in. By no means is a bum, right? Like I could play. He could play. Still has some speed in it. Understands the league completely. He'll recognize players the way that maybe Insua couldn't just because he's not familiar with them. So I'm okay with this move. 100%. I'm okay with this move.
Yeah. So let's see. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like everyone just said, I wouldn't mind it. I really like Traore though. I think when we played him, I've seen a lot from him. At least from my point of view, I think he's just a baller. I think the only negative towards him is that he's still pretty young. He still hasn't had all those minutes that we've seen from other players, and that he's also international as well. So we'll see how it works out, but I wouldn't mind the move at all.
Peyton?
I think Villafaña, if that happens, that's an excellent signing. It frees up an international spot, definitely cheaper than Insua. Villafaña hasn't played the full season throughout his entire career. He hasn't. So that leaves you time to give Didi Traore and possibly Danilo Costa chance to fight for that second spot because he's not going to play all those games. So, and then when Villafania, he's older, when he does retire, you got Didi Traore right there. He's a promising second option. And I think Didi Traore, by the time Villafania retires, he'll be right there. He'll be able to take it over and be your starting left back. But I really like Villafania. I think he's excellent. I think he's a great.
I also wouldn't be surprised if it's not like the only left back sign, right? And I think it's way early to kind of start having an idea of what the team's gonna look like next year on the field. Just because again, we're not even sure who's gonna be at the helm taking the team there, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. But listen, it's a piece. I'm curious to know what his salary is, right? Because I think that could change our opinion a little bit if it's a high salary, but if it's not, like, that's a piece you want to have, right? It's been around the league and showcased that he has it. He has it. So, again, not high.
I just think us Galaxy fans were like, do something. They do so, not that move. Like, we never had the.
Yeah. Trust me. I've been around. I'm lucky enough to have been around, like, all and it was that then too, right? Like, we just won a cup and we still want one more. It's always the case. I get it. We love it. We're passionate. We always want more and more and more. Never get full. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's left back, and then going to the order, pretty much starting the season. How do you feel about that, Vic?
Yeah, I think that we've seen it throughout the season. I think going into it, I think Rudy even mentioned it that Felcher was probably going to start, but at the end of the season, we expected Araujo to take over. And I think that's what he did. He's young. He's a little bit more disciplined. But other than that, he checks off everything. He's domestic. He's young. He's a young player that we brought in, and he knows what it means to be a part of this club as well. You always see the passion. You see him on the field fighting for the badge, showing the badge, and playing for the crest. And I think that's another quality that we need. So I'm perfectly content. But I would love to bring in another player just to have more competition. And, things happen, people get injured, and we need somebody to fill in that role as well.
For next season, right? Felcher was Felcher on a team who had a lot of Felchers. So it made it easy for Araujo to take kind of get that chance to come in there and play. And he just kind of looked better. Or is he really better, right? Regardless, I think the experience he gained playing all those minutes this season can only do good. He had some real dumb fuck ups where he got red cards. But if he's gonna do it, if he's gonna take that and learn from it, doing it last year was probably the best time to do it because he wasn't the difference maker. It wasn't like not having Araujo there gave us that much more of a chance to win any game. Right, and not just being honest, just because the team was bad. If it wasn't just because he stood out because the team was bad, then we should have a much better player. Because he, the hope is that he shook some of that inexperience or undisciplined that he had. He shook it off, and now he's a much better player because of that. Being his age, he still has all the trajectory to kind of grow. It's a really good player to have if he's a real thing and not just a facade because the rest of the team was pretty shitty.
Based on what you just said right there, like I agree on that. That, like, was he good because he was on a bad team, or is he actually going to be the real thing? I actually think he's going to be a good right back. He's going to be our starter. I think this camp, this U.S. December camp and January camp that he's going to, is going to help him grow as a player. Meaning that, like, he's not the top tier in that in the U.S. right now. As a right back, you got Reggie Cannon, you got Des, you have even Yedlin still in Champions Leagues. These guys are playing, UEFA, If he wants to make that jump, he needs to learn that he has to be on the field. He has to make this team better. He needs to make this team compete. And the only good thing is that, excuse me, Greg, the coach, he actually, he doesn't mind bringing MLS talent, mix them in. Obviously, he's seen Seba in there. He's a whole different level, grow and not make those simple dumb mistakes, getting red carded and leaving their team with 10 men down, because that actually does hurt you. So I think that's going to help him, and he's going to make it to becoming our right back starting position, and he's going to take it to another level and actually may probably even command the defense if Stairs and the Pew can't do nothing.
Yeah, Man, it looks that way, right? It looks the potential looks definitely there. Um, I think next season is really that season. I mean, uh, I think his next season it was what Emma's season was this year, right? Where we all expected Emma to take that leap and do a lot more this season, and we saw where that happened. He's knocked down a couple pegs off of where we thought he was, and I think it's the same kind of test for Rajo next year. He has that test, like because you made that initial leap last season. We need that same kind of leap this season, right? And I think only time will tell like, how much he can step up to it and get there.
All right, guys. So we've been going at it for over an hour and a half, so we're gonna start wrapping it up a bit. But you know what? I wanted to touch up a few things that are going on in the community. So another big shout out to Joanna and Leslie. We had them on last week, and what they're doing is sending boxes of used clothes and shoes and different stuff to Guatemala for the people that were affected by the hurricane that happened last month.
Mhm.
So they're pretty much working on their seventh box. So I think that's pretty cool. So if you have any clothing, shoes, stuff that are generally worn, that you are willing to donate for it to go to Guatemala, go ahead and reach out to her. Her Twitter handle is at makeup by JC. Manny mentioned earlier Da Vinci's ice cream. They're raffling items that were donated by the Galaxy. And then 1 2 Threats and Nelson are gonna be there as well. I saw one of the shirts that 1 2 Threats is gonna have. It was pretty cool. So from 2 to 4 p.m., whoever has a chance, stop by, and it's helping other G's. So I think that's something that's really cool. And that's the main concept of this, is pretty much plugging everything that's going on in the community, because I feel there's a lot of good things happening in the Galaxy community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to lead off that. No, thank you.
I'll give it.
It's always good to reach out because you never know what might come of it. We have this league right here. I know me and Nelson are working out pretty tight, and I'm helping him with his website and his all his prints and stuff. So I'm gonna be there helping him tomorrow as well. So you never know what might come of it. I have a job with him. I'm learning from him. I'm learning from a lot of people just to become better from graphic design to web design. So if you just want to reach out, we always want to have opportunity. We're G's. We're all family. We're all here for you to support you. So don't be afraid to reach out.
That energy all day long, baby. That energy all day
That
long.
Red Bull
please.
energy. That Red Bull
That
energy.
Red Bull energy,
That Red Bull
baby.
No, they gave me tea. They gave me my tea already to put me to sleep.
Yeah, so it's a
Uh,
big shout out to those G's that are helping out, and Nelson. Like I met Nelson. I think we were like seniors in high school when we started seeing each other at the stadiums and Rob. So it's really cool to see what he is doing and what he has
Right.
became. So like you said, we're all G's, so it's really cool to see all that. Yeah, any final thoughts from you guys?
Yeah, I do want to say, Gavin and Manny, man, this is a really dope platform. Your pod and different things, but like kind of having this platform for the community to come in and showcase and talk about what they're doing, it's super dope and it's something that was missing. So definitely a big shout out to you guys for kind of putting this together and for inviting my ass to come over here and talk for a little bit. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for obviously coming on, and I know we're gonna get you back in here because I know you're a developer or a front end
Yeah.
thing for computers. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know about that stuff, So I'm pretty sure we're gonna reach out again and have another story with you.
Yeah, so
The Traigo Angel, the
shut me
Traigo
up.
Angel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and so it was really cool. Like we said, it's cool to see young people get involved. Peyton, Vic, what you guys are doing, I think it's something that I admire. It's really cool. And same thing with you, Rudy. When Manny told me we were gonna be on, it got me a little nervous because I take care of the tech stuff here, and I see all the good things that you do. So I was like, man, I'm gonna have Rudy here. So it got me a little nervous. But thank you for
Reach out,
being-
baby. I got you. Let me know. I reach out. I'll help you out if you ever need anything. And I
Yeah.
ain't shit, so don't be nervous around me. I ain't nothing. So don't be nervous around me, though. Just say that for somebody else.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. And then Peyton, for those interested in joining Liga Galaxia, where could they reach out to you, or what's that process like?
Yeah, and any final thoughts you have?
Your score, it's a bit tricky, but yeah, that's how you enter the league. Just shoot me a DM and I'll get you in. And I'm sure there's plenty of teams that will be interested. I know Chonchos are struggling with players, and I think Straight from the Stands need a left back. So,
Yeah. Why you put me on blast like that?
It was our pleasure. Thank you for being with us. And just for everybody that was on, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and share. We will be taking a small break. We just started, but we're gonna take a small break because of the holidays. But coming in January, we'll be back with more content. We have a lot of stuff planned for you. And same thing, if you do have like businesses or different things that you do, reach out to us, and we'll be happy to have you on. Manny.
Yeah, just reach out to us. Can't wait to our next show. I think we have something lined up for you guys that's pretty cool. I think so. And thank you guys for sharing your stuff from Liga Galaxia. Appreciate you guys, and then I'll catch you guys on the streams.
Are with us, and we hope to see you in January. So Merry Christmas to everybody, and Happy New Year.
Sure, same. Happy holidays.
Stay safe. Wear your mask.
Wear your mask, social distance.
For sure.
And now you're gonna be here like me, man. Fuck.
In quarantine.
Yeah, 7 days already.